Hello everyone, welcome back to our AWS training. And today we'll be discussing about AWS S3 versioning. So let us try to understand what is version. Why do we need a versioning in S3? And in general, let's talk about version. So the reason we have versions in our software development or in any of your day-to-day work, just to keep records of your things which you are committing or which you are uploading. For example, now uh, we are developing some code with some name called test.java, which I'm planning to develop this one. And I would like to upload the same content with the name called test.java. So here I'll just write some content called as test1. This is the content I'm trying to insert. Now, what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and upload this particular file, and while accessing it, I'll be able to see the content called test1. And later point of time, if somebody comes in and he wants to update some more content to this particular test.java file. So what he'll do, he'll just take that file. This file will have test1, and later he will add test2. Right? So when he upload this particular kind of information, this information also gets uploaded, and when we are trying to access this particular object uh, via URL, then I'll be able to see these two options as well. And probably later point of time, if I need to update this particular file with some more tasks, for example, here we have test one and test two, we have already having it, and I need to upload this content as well. Then I'll just upload this, which means I'm trying to upload three contents under the same file name, right? So, and it is possible in real time, especially on S3, we can upload any amount of data with the same name. How exactly it keeps track of these records? It does take care with the help of versioning. We have something called as versioning. So as and when we upload, let's say we'll enable bucket up. We'll enable our bucket with versioning, right? So if we just enable versioning option under bucket, then this will be considered as version 1, and this will be considered as version 2, and this will be considered as version 3. Now, what will happen? So as the version 3 we have uploaded, we will be able to see this particular information on your browser. When you hit this particular test.java or test.exe, whatever, then you'll be able to see this content. So, and there is always, we have a possible options to go back to your previous versions also. This is one use case. So which means, what is the use cases of having versioning in S3? So the first would be, we can upload multiple variants of your objects, which means what exactly multiple variants. The first version is of version 1. This has test 1, and the second version is having test 1 and test 2, and third version is having test 1, test 2, and test 3, right? So this is kind of versioning. And we can always go back to your required one. We can always go back to previous versions. So what does it mean? So when we try to access this particular file, then this the content would be test one, test two, test three. And the one of the reason we use version in S3. So let's say probably this implementation is not good. Let's say no, I don't want to have this test three implementation. Then I need to go back to the previous version. This is possible, right? So what I need to do, I just have to download this one and I need to upload it again. So we will discuss them later. So if you want to have this content under this file, it is always possible to go back to our previous version. For example, if you don't want this one, I need the first implementation, which is developed by me. Then I can go ahead and retrieve this information from the S3 versions of. versions option. So which means we can always go back to our previous versions with whatever the content which we are uploading. Yeah, that is possible. And the third advantage is that we can recover the deleted object. We can recover the deleted object. So what we'll do, we'll be uploading our object. For example, let's say later point of time, if I delete this particular test.java file, which has the content of test1 and test2 and test3, if we delete it, we'll not be deleting permanently, right? We have an option of delete, but even though if we just delete from S3 console, that gets stored in the version, and we can, with the help of that version, we can recover this. Don't get confused. Let's get into practical, and we'll see the objective of S3, and we'll try to upload multiple versions, and let's try to go back to your previous versions, and also we'll try to recover the deleted object as well. So we'll just delete one object, and we'll try to recover the same objects by following some options, right? So let's get on now. So how to do that? So I need to create a bucket. So how to create a bucket? So we are in the bucket sections in the S3 console. Click on bucket, and as I mentioned, it has to be unique one, right? So let us give a name. This should be unique, and I'm trying to create this particular bucket on this region. And as I mentioned, as of now, we have not discussed about access control list. So just enable it for now, and we'll have a detailed discussions on this. And as I mentioned, if this bucket needs to be accessed publicly, you need to unblock this. Going forward, when we learn ATS, we'll see individual options, the significance of individual options. We'll say that. And once you unblock it, then you should acknowledge that. So this setting purposefully, I'm making this bucket as publicly available. And here we have some versions. If you want, you can directly enable it. Else, later point of time also we can. For now, let us try to create a bucket. So I have not enabled any versions, but I've just created a bucket. Now under this one, let me try to upload some file. So what I'll do, I'll just make use of the same file what we have here, and this is a test.txt, right? And for example, let me try to change the content as well, right? So let me do this file. I'll just say test1, right? So let me save this content, and now let me click on as file, click on desktop, and click on test.txt. Yeah, this is the test file which I'm uploading now. Okay, and now, as I mentioned, your bucket as well as your objects needs to be publicly available. So bucket thing I've already done. So I need to give a permission on in your object. So here I am granting the public read access permission, and also I'm acknowledging saying that I know giving, I'm granting public read access to this particular object. So I've just uploaded. Now, right? We'll see one by one. We'll see one by one use case. What is the use case? We can upload multiple variants of the object. For now, we have this one. This is the first object which I have uploaded, and how to get to know. Just copy the object URL and hit it on your browser. You'll be able to see this. Now, as per my use case, I'll just try to insert one more content called test2. Right? How to do that? Now I'm just going on the same file, and I'm writing test2. Let's say this will be your another implementation on top of your test1. Now I've have the content ready. Now what I need to do, I don't have to delete it. Instead, I need to upload it. Please understand. So we are not deleting it. We are just uploading it. Right. So what I'll do. So I'll just click on upload and add file. And here, let me upload this one. Now again, so if you don't give public access, then you'll not be able to access any of the objects. So better you give that public access and acknowledge and click on upload. Now, which means my object URL would remain same. My object URL would remain same. But if I just refresh this one, then I'll be able to see the updated content as well. But if you go and see on your object section, it does have only one object. Correct? Do you see my point? So, which means we can upload multiple variants of your object. This is done. Now, let us try to enable versions. How exactly it works, we'll see. Right? See, here we are the latest content. It has got updated. Now, this is the demo of this. To know we are able to upload multiple variants of your object. So these things we have done. Now, let us try to enable the version and let us see how it works. How to enable the version? While creation of your bucket itself, you will be able to select the versioning option, or just click on this particular bucket, click on properties. So on properties, we'll be able to see an option called bucket versions. And apart from bucket versions, we have encryptions, intelligence tiering, server access logging, everything we have, right? So we'll be learning, most of the options which are available here. For now, we are learning bucket versioning. So I'm enabling this bucketing versioning. I click on save. This is that. Now I've enabled the version. Now, after enabling the versions options on your bucket, if you click on your object, now you'll be able to see the versions. You'll be able to see the versions. So here, if I just click on show versions, now this particular version is null because so I've uploaded this file before enabling this version. Now, what will happen if I just upload the file now? What I'll do, I'll just get onto the same file. What I'll do, I'll just try to insert test3 content. I'll just save it and I'll just close it now. Now, what I'll do, I'll click on upload option, upload button, and I click on add file. Now, I have inserted few more content on it. Now, let me try to upload this file. This is the same file which I'm uploading. And as I mentioned, we need to grant the public access, public read access, and we need to select this checkbox and click on it. Now we have uploaded the third version, I mean the third content, right? So now if I just go back and see this particular object, and of course here it's still the same, we'll be able to see the updated content. So which means when I uploaded the first object, the content was test1, and when I uploaded second time, test2, and when I uploaded third time, I've included this content on top of the existing these two. Now this will be my updated content. Now I have these two things I have uploaded before enabling the version. Now I've added this content after enabling the versions. Let us see how it works. So now if I just click on the versions, it shows this is the content which we have uploaded before enabling the version, and after enabling the version, it is giving a version ID, right? Why we are not seeing here? Because we had not enabled the versioning option in S3 bucket, but now we are seeing this version ID because we have enabled it, right? So we can maintain the multiple versions as well. Do you see my point? So what we are doing? So this is the file. If you just get into this file, you'll be able to see the two contents which we have uploaded. So which means these two are the contents. And later I have uploaded another one by enabling this version. This test.txt is having all this content. Now let us see the second aspect. What did we see here? We can always go back to your previous versions. We can always go back to your previous version, which means if I have to go back, see, if I hit this object URL, I'm able to see the test1, test2, and test3. Now, if I have to go back to this previous version, which is a version 2, or here you can see, if I have to go back to this content of this particular object, what I need to do, I need to download this one. Please understand, I need to download the version which I would like to go back. Okay. For or else, what we'll do, I'll just try to upload another version, which means let's try to create three versions. So as of now, we have two. One is null, and second one is after enabling our versioning, we have uploaded one thing. Let's say I'm trying to insert one more content with test 4, and I'm saving it. Come back here and just click on upload option, add file, and click on desktop options where I have stored my file. Just upload it. And please grant the public access to your object. This is done. I've just granted the permission as well, and click on this option. Click on upload. Now I've uploaded the additional content of your text file. Now how to access it? Just click on your object. I think we can just hit the same one. So this is your updated one. Now see, I have test1 and test2, test3 and test4. The first two contents we have uploaded with the null version because we had not enabled any versions at that point of time. So that is the reason we see only three versions. The nullable version refers to this content, test1 and test2. And this is the second version where the second version will have test1, test2, and test3. And the third version, which is the current one. Now, if I just execute this particular, I mean, if you just hit this URL, I'll be able to see the complete option. Now, let us go back to our aspects. Now, I need to go back to the previous version. Now, I want to see this one. I want to see this content. I want to see only test1, test2, and test3. But in the current scenario, we are seeing this test4 as well. So maybe this implementation is not good. I need to go back to the previous version. How to do that? Right? Okay. In order to do that, we need to identify this one. How to identify? How to identify the content? Just go back, click here, and copy this object URL, and just hit here. Here you this is the content of your second version. And similarly, if you want to go back to your previous versions, want to look at your another one, you can see the first commit without enabling the version. You can always go to the object URL and you can see. So if you want to get back to this one, this is also possible. Now, let's say I have to get, see, if I just use the current one, we will be able to see the test1, test2, test3, test4. But my intention is to have only test1, test2, test3. Now, in order to do that, okay, I need to get into your objects, click on show versions. Now, this is the one I need to go back, right? This is the intention. This is the intended one. I need to switch back to the previous version. So if I go back to this one, I should be able to see test1, test2, test3, right? Now, how to do that? So we need to overwrite the content. How to overwrite? It is very simple. It is just need to select this version text or this version object. Just click on download. Okay, so let's see where it is downloaded. So let me remove this one and just name it as testing. Okay. So where I'm getting this one, I'm just downloading from the S3 only. I'm not adding any additional content. I'm not creating any new one. Instead, I have downloaded this content. After downloading, what we need to do? So we need to upload this the downloaded one, right? So how to do that? Click on upload option, click on add file, and it should be under downloads. Click here, and please give a public access to this your object, and just check this option. Click on upload. Now, what I did, I was in a need of to go back to your previous version. What I did, I just downloaded this one, just downloaded this version, and again I uploaded it. Now this will have the latest one. So now just go back, and this is your object URL. Now just hit this one. So once you hit this one, you will be able to see test one, test two, and test three. So which means this is your the old version which you are looking for, right? So this is the second use case. Now, for example, right? So we have two options here. Now let us try to see the third scenario, how to recover the deleted object. Let's say we delete some objects within this bucket and I want to recover this. How to do that? So in order to recover your object, you need to delete it. For example, this is the test.txt and this is the content, right? Okay. Now I want to delete it, right? I want to delete this particular object. See, once you delete this object or whatever the actions we perform on this particular object, everything will be captured under versions. For now, if you just delete this particular object, it does come and store, or it does show an option saying that you have already deleted it. And once you see some deleted option, if you want to recover it, we can recover that particular object from this screen. For example, let's say we will delete this one. We'll delete. So this is the original object place, and this is the history of your object. So, but when we look for this URL, it does consider the object which are present here, right? So this is your original object location, and once you click on show versions, this will be your which will have the different versions of your object. So once you delete this particular object, it will come and store under versions, and from there we can recover. Okay, let's do it now. So now what I'm planning to do here, I'm trying to delete. What I'm trying to delete? I'm trying to delete this content of this particular test.txt, right? So and I have the only one object which I can see here. Now I'm planning to delete it. If you see here, if I just deleting this one, it is just a delete. It is not a permanent delete, right? But you just click on show versions, and if you just select this one, and if you just click on delete, what exactly it is? It is saying permanently delete, which means whatever the things we are storing under the versions, or when S3 is capturing the different versions, after, so we are just deleting the versions completely. So after enabling the versions, if you are intentionally, if you are selecting this one and if you are deleting, you cannot recover anything from this one. Please understand. For example, if you are deleting this version, see, the reason of having the versions to have kind of a backup, right? But you are seeing the backup and you are deleting the original one only. So that is not good, right? So this is the original content which you are uploading, and now you have seen the original content, and now you are deleting, in the sense you cannot get back your object, which you are identifying the versions and you are deleting, which means you will not get back that version, right? So typically we should not be deleting these versions. Instead, if something goes wrong here, so because mainly we'll be dealing with these objects only, right? We are not dealing with any of the versions here. No, we'll not be sharing any URLs of these versions. So typically we'll be sharing the details or URL of this particular object, right? So we are only entitled to share this object details to your applications or to anyone. So that's how. So we have a authority to delete this one, but we cannot get into this different versions and delete it. If we just delete it from here, it will go permanently. So we will not be able to recover it, right? And this is the one which we have the internal access to the developer, not to any of the end user, right? So end user will have only access to this URL, correct? End user will have access to this URL. So if you can look at the URLs also, right? Let me see. So this is the official one. This is the official one we can see. And let us try to see the object URL of different versions. For example, let's say I want to see this. This complete, see, if you look at the object URL, it is completely different. This is not the one we are sharing with the customer, and we are not sharing with any applications, right? So our intention is to share the content of this file, not the content of any of the versions. So particularly if you want to delete any of the versions, you can go ahead and delete it. Once you delete it, as we have seen, so you'll not be able to recover that because it is saying it's a permanent delete. But after disable, if you just have a come to your original object and you just select this one and delete it. What exactly it says? It is just deleting from here, not from the versioning. So because anyhow we have a option of we have a version reference there, we can always get back that. Let us see that, right? So now this is the official object which I'm deleting now. Now I have deleted this object. Now I don't see any object here, right? So I don't see any object. See, because it is denying, because it is not finding the object details under this location or under this URL because I don't see anything. I cannot give the versions here, right? So the version URLs will be different and the actual object URL is different, right? So as I have deleted the object itself, then I'll not be able to see the content of this particular object. Now, for example, I have to recover this. If I have to recover this, I need to click on show versions, and this is what I have deleted. This is the file I have deleted. See, if you have to get back this word, if you want to get back this deleted object, so whenever we delete an object, then that object will be deleted under marker. So which says I have somebody has deleted. I have just marked this deleted object, but still you have an option to recover this object. To do that, so click on show versions, just select this one, delete from here. You will see the magic. So see, first we deleted. See, first we selected an object and we deleted from the actual object location. And I realized that I did deleted this one by mistake. Now I have to recover this one. Then if you want to recover, click on show options, select this one. See, you'll not be able to see any URL, object URL because this is deleted. But again, this is captured under version. Now I have an option to get back this object. How to do that? You can delete it here, which means we are permanently deleting here. What are we deleting? We are deleting this version from here. We are deleting the deleted version. Please understand. We are not deleting the content. So once we delete the object from the actual object location, then it does capture as a version. Now what I'm saying, I want to whatever the version which is deleted, right? This version I'm deleting from here. So once we delete this version which have deleted from the actual object location, it will store back on the original object. So this is how S3 people they have implemented this functionality. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm just delete this object. So once that is done, see, if you just disable this one, you will be able to see the version object which you have deleted. Right? Previously, we were not seeing any object after the deletion, but once after enabling show versions, we were having one delete marker object. That object again we deleted from this versioning, and it went back to the actual one. Now, if you just go ahead and just hit the same one, you will be able to see the content of this. Right? So this is what version control is. Right? So this is how we can deal with versions, and we can get back to your old versions. We can have multiple commits as well, or we can have multiple uploads, and we can always go back to our previous version, or we can always get back to your deleted options. Right? So that's all I have. Please go through this video and let me know if you have any queries. I'll be happy to answer your questions.